This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sob like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks get their first win of the season over the Atlanta Hawks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was a nice win tonight. 126-120. The Knicks get the win over the Hawks. And look, the Knicks started off. They pretty much started off the game, Tony, on fire. I don't want to say on fire, but started off the game, good ball movement, finding each other, good chemistry, looking like a cohesive unit, that starting unit did. When the bench came in, the starting unit built like a 10-point lead, right, in the first half. The bench unit came in, lost the lead a little bit, right? Lost the lead, but they maintained it. I think it got down to like 2. I don't think it got tied. I don't think it was tied because Atlanta only had 1 lead during this game, I believe. That was early in the first quarter, like 7-6, something like that. But when the starters came back in, they took right over again. Guys knocking down threes all over the place. Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, R.J. Barrett, even Julius Randle was 42% from the three-point line. DiVincenzo knocking down threes. DiVincenzo finally showed up. I don't want to say finally. It's only the second game of the season, but DiVincenzo showed up tonight. Third quarter, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks build another lead. Right, got it up to about 11, but Atlanta kept coming back. It was that kind of a game. Atlanta kept coming back, but the Knicks did not break. They wouldn't break. They kept battling to keep the lead. They wouldn't break, ladies and gentlemen. Build it back up to a 7-8 point lead. The Knicks led by about 7 points with just 2 minutes and some change left in the game, but turnovers down the stretch of the game almost lost the Knicks this one. Almost lost, but Atlanta, had just as many mistakes down the stretch of the game, missing layups, things like that. Julius Randle came up with some big plays, hit a big 3, a couple of big rebounds, almost a triple-double for Julius Randle. This was a good one for the Knicks, 126-120. 126-120, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks pull out a win. I'm going to get my man Ron in the building, then we're going to check out the box score. All right. Let me get Ron up in the building here. Big Ron in the building. Uh-oh.
Got an echo.
I think the echo is gone now. There we go. Live stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you get technical difficulties. Tony, before we even get to the box score, what's popping with you, brother?
What's good, Sam? What's good, Ron? Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black, it's time. Oh, man. Why the Knicks always got to make it a roller coaster, right? You always got to mess with your heart rate. You know what I mean? It can't just be simple down the stretch. But a win is a win. I'll take it. You know what I mean? But
yeah, no doubt about that, man. We'll take it. Listen, early season games, you're playing 2 teams that made the playoffs. They're bound to be tight games. Bound to be tight games. I'm just glad we're able to pull it out. We played way better tonight than we did versus Boston. But, both games, the Knicks could have won against Boston. They pulled this one out tonight. Ron, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great. I'm just happy. I'm happy the Knicks got the win. I was a little disappointed. But it once again, I'm a realist, so I understand that this is the beginning of the season. There's some stuff that they got to work out. It just kind of seems like just a lack of focus. Too many unforced errors, and then even the forced errors are just errors that shouldn't happen. So yeah, but I still feel good about what the fact that they got it done. I don't care. In the end, let's get those wins.
Let me ask you. Tom Thibodeau said it in his post game. He told Fred Katz, "You're worried about the number of passes. I'm worried about wins." It's funny. It was definitely funny. But Fred Katz was just trying to talk about the way the Knicks were whipping the ball and passing the ball and things like that. He wasn't saying anything crazy. But how much do you? Let me get to the box score first. Then I'll get to that question. All right, let's get to the box score first. Shout out to my man Kashif. Thank you for the Cash App. I just seen it come in. I really appreciate the support, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to support the channel, please support the channel. Hit me on the Cash App. All right, you'll see the Cash App below. PayPal too. Appreciate it. All right, let's get to the box score, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks tonight were led in scoring by Jalen Brunson, 31 points, 3 rebounds for Jalen Brunson, 5 assists for Jalen Brunson. Man, he was on fire, especially from the three-point line. 8 for 12 from the three-point line tonight for Jalen Brunson. 11 for 21 from the field overall. Shot 52.4% from the field. RJ Barrett with another really, really good basketball game. Everybody wanted RJ Barrett to come out hot to start the season. He's come out hot to start the season. 26 points for RJ Barrett, 6 assists, shot 9 for 15 from the field. He shot 3 for 5 from the three-point line. Really good game from RJ Barrett, and you're really seeing him play comfortably. He looks comfortable out there. Julius Randle didn't shoot the ball well from the field, just 4 for 10. Shot it well from the three-point line, 3 for 7 for 42.9%, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. And during the game, when he wasn't getting shots, when he wasn't making shots, he didn't force anything. He continued to look for his teammates. A lot of continuity out there on the floor, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of continuity. Mitchell Robinson, 11 points, 13 rebounds, 4 steals, 4 blocks. Contributions all over the floor. Dante DiVincenzo, he showed up for this one. 16 points for Dante. 3 for 5 from the three-point line. 6 for 10 from the field. It's a good basketball game. Good win for the Knicks. Good balanced scoring. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that this is the way you want to get it done. It's the type of win that you want to get. So the Knicks start the season 1-1. They go to Charlotte. New Orleans. They play in New Orleans tomorrow. All right, and I'll be expecting that to be a good game, but I think the Knicks should be able to pull out a win there too. We'll talk about that later on. Uncle Fulio, what's popping, man?
Salute, Stem, Ron, Tony, MBK fam, the chat. Great team win tonight. Really, really good team win. Contributions from all over the place. Still got to clean up the defense a little bit, but offensively, I was really impressed with this performance tonight. Overall, shot the ball well. Improvement from the free throw line compared to the first game. And I just think we played an overall really good team basketball game and a really good team win.
Yeah, really good team basketball game. As a matter of fact, so much of a good team game that when you look at the game stats, the Knicks had 30 assists tonight.
Damn.
30 assists tonight. They had 24 assists against Boston, and they didn't shoot the ball well against Boston. And they had 24 assists. All right, so they're definitely sharing the ball better. And we've seen a lot of ball and man movement tonight, I thought. 9 steals for the Knicks, 6 blocks. They did have 16 turnovers, a couple of crucial ones down the stretch of the game. They shot 47.8% from the field, 45.5% from the three-point line. They shot the free throws better at 71.4%. I would like to see it even better than that, but still, 71.4% from the free throw line. They won the rebounding battle, 54-52. Atlanta had a lot of assists, 28 assists for Atlanta, 8 steals, 6 blocks, 14 turnovers for Atlanta. They shot 48% from the field and 37.5% from three. They shot 80% from the free throw line. Atlanta won the battle of the paint, 54-40. Second chance points, 14-12 Atlanta. And fast break points, 17-16 Atlanta. Listen, if the Knicks are going to, we talked all season long last year, we talked about it a lot. other teams hitting threes and the Knicks not hitting threes. Tonight, and even against Boston, the Knicks hit their threes. Can they continue to shoot this hot? I hope so. I hope so. You know what I mean? But, I'll take it for right now. I will definitely take it. No doubt about that. I got my guy Spray. I believe it's Spray on the phone. Spray, what's poppin' with you, brother? How you feeling?
Sim, Tony, Josh, Ron, it feels good to win. Feels good to win.
Feels good to win.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think this is the best game you've ever watched Randle and RJ pass the ball together in the same game? Just playing quick decision basketball. Nothing's forced. All of the decisions were just in the flow together in the same game, passing the rock. And also quick decisions when you have. Would you say, is that fair, or am I just exaggerating?
Are you saying passing to each other or just passing in general to anybody?
Playing the flow basketball to the whole team. I'm not talking about to each other.
I don't know.
Is that an exaggeration?
I don't know if it's an exaggeration, but it was good.
I've seen him do it before.
I think it was good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think one of the keys is for these guys to do it is both of them recognizing, all right, if I'm not hitting and he's hitting, let me step to the side, allow him to hit, and I move out the way, like Randle did tonight. You know what I'm saying? And if it's the opposite way, RJ may need to do the same thing, or sometimes Brunson may need to do the same thing. Tonight, Randle didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but all three of them played well tonight.
Right. I mean, he only took 10 shots and we scored 126 points.
Right.
I mean, we have a lot of weapons on this team. My thing with RJ, too, is like RJ should be a good assist guy. Because Sim, they can't stop him with the left hand. He gets in the paint just like Brunson a lot. He's in the paint. Like if he just makes that read like he did tonight, he's going to get assists. Like RJ Barrett, he made all the right reads. I was just so proud. And also he had that little mid-range jump shot. I'm proud of RJ because his jumper looks good. I thought Randle, look, anybody saying Randle had a bad game, I don't think he had a bad game. I think he had a fine game. He almost had a triple-double.
Yeah, Randle played a good game.
I'm not going to say it was amazing. I think he could play a little better, but like it was flow basketball. He had 17, 12, and 9. I'm not going to hate on that.
Yeah, he played a good basketball game. It wasn't like this super-duper basketball game, but almost had a triple-double on a night when his shot wasn't going down. He almost had a triple-double, still grabbed 12 rebounds. You know what I mean? Tom Thibodeau says it all the time. You can play well even if your shot's not falling.
And let me ask you this before I go. Hartenstein had a play where he missed a free throw and he put it back. He had another play where he was just pesky on a rebound and it deflected off the Hawks player. He had another play where he found DiVincenzo cutting. Hartenstein is just an annoying, smart player. That's why I really like Hartenstein on my team. Like, because Sim, all the little things you take for granted, like a play is not over. He sticks his hand in there in the cookie jar, and I'm proud of that. Quickly's got to play better. Quickly played really well the first game. I didn't like Quickly tonight. He took a couple bad threes, Sim, that I hated. I thought he turned it over a little too much. I love Quickly, but he played bad tonight. That's just my take. But Sim, enjoy it, and we'll get ready for tomorrow. Thanks for the time, guys.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
No doubt about it. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
Yeah. I see some people in the chat, saying, Randle quit, or whatever they're saying in the chat. He had 12 rebounds. He had 9 assists. I don't know. Can one of you explain to me why someone would think that Randle quit?
Quit how? Quit how? Like, what do you mean quit? I think Randle struggled throughout the game. I think Randle's had a pretty good game tonight. It was a better game only because he took less shots, so his misses to makes was a little better number compared to the first game where he took a lot more shots. So, and he still gave you very good rebounding and very good assist play.
Right.
I think this was even, like I said, I think from those standpoints, this was a better game. The other thing that I think he did was he started to come alive in the fourth quarter when we needed some scoring, and he hit 2 clutch free throws. Like I don't know where the quit thing came from. I don't see that.
I don't know where the quit thing. I don't know where it's coming from. To be honest,
I will say that I do think that Randle's not there yet.
I'll say that.
I'm not talking about the fact that he's not shooting well. The way he moves on the court, there's no fire in Randle right now. Have you guys noticed that he doesn't have the fire in his belly? He's just moving. He's not angry. He's not overhyped. He's just not there yet.
And
I hope he gets there.
Maybe that's what they're talking about. Maybe that's what they're saying.
Oh, well, that's. I mean, I don't know,
because I do agree with you. I don't see that fire, that we've seen from him in the past.
I think
Tony, you say something?
I think we'll see less of it as time goes on. Not saying we won't see it at all, because we will, but I think that's part of the new Randle, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Like he's new image, new look, or whatever. I think it's also him trying to temper some of that behavior. But I do think we will see it, once he gets like a and one dunk, or you know what I mean, like has a good moment in a crucial down the stretch. We'll see it. It's just not going to be early in the game or all game long. You know what I mean? I just think he's working on that image.
You can say it, Tony. New agent, new look, new meds. New agent, new look, new meds. Maybe.
New sneakers.
I'm joking.
New sneakers too.
I don't want to put that out there. I'm joking. But
can I highlight
I'm joking.
some comments in the chat?
Huh? Yeah. Go ahead.
Start with, because everybody. I like the new version of Randle playing more relaxed. That's Angel Torres. I think there was 2 more I wanted to get to. Juju Caesar, he says, "Please, I want RJ to silence me all season long."
Yeah. My thing about the Randle one though is, I don't know. You know what I mean? I still feel like Randle needs to play with that energy. I feel like he needs to play with that energy, to be, I do. He ended up with 17 points tonight, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, but that fire, I believe, is part of Randle. We'll see, as we go forward. We'll see. Go ahead, Josh.
Sim, Tony, and Ron, I disagree with you guys slightly in regards to Randle. I think Randle's not giving us this fire that we are so accustomed to seeing, because he doesn't have to. When the Knicks are knocking their shots down offensively, and the Knicks are using Randle to get those shots off, Randle doesn't need to go off and be that type of player, because everyone's hitting their shots. You know what I mean? There's a lot of he doesn't need to be that aggressive, ultra aggressive Randle. And I think people are too often accustomed to Randle doing that, because a lot of times during the season we weren't knocking our shots down. So Randle had to be the one to bear the brunt and be super aggressive and take a ton of shots and try to force some things. So I don't think this is a new Randle. I think we've seen Randle do this before during certain times, but particularly at the beginning of last season, same way it is now, when the Knicks were knocking their shots down and he just wasn't, super aggressive. But I think there will come a time where he will be, right? And it's going to come when the Knicks aren't knocking their shots down and he feel like he has to be the one to be able to take advantage. But right now, I mean, there's no reason to. The Knicks are shooting great throughout the first two games of the season, especially from 3. So, I mean, I don't think this is a new Randle. I just think this is just how it is right now because of that.
Well, I mean, I do feel like, though, I mean, I agree with you. Maybe he doesn't need to, maybe there's some things he doesn't need to do or is not doing because, guys are knocking down shots and things like that. But I feel like even during some of those times, man, we've seen Randle really play with more urgency. Even when the Knicks are knocking down shots, I think I feel like he's played with a little bit more urgency and a little bit more fire, in his belly. You know what I'm saying? Just it's not about him moving fast and screaming and hollering and yelling. The tenacity at which he grabs the rebound. You know what I'm saying? Those type of things. Okay, I'm grabbing and now boom, I'm gone shooting up the floor. I think I can see it a little bit, but we'll see. And maybe he is just learning how do I balance it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need it
Could be.
now, and it'll come out. How do I balance it?
I'd rather this Randle or yeah. I suppose Sam. I'd rather this what Randle did tonight rather than that ultra aggressive Randle grabbing the rebounds with vigor and kicking the ball out 100 miles per hour, to the guy shooting on the wing, and then
I'm just saying when we need it, I want him to be able to pull it out because when we played Miami, he played with more of this temperament, and I don't feel like it benefited us.
Right, and that's my point too. And listen, we got to think like this may be deeper than basketball. Like we don't know. I'm just speculating. Randle may have said to himself, "Listen, I've been a little out of control. I'm trying to, reel in things better for my mental health, for my family. This is not just about basketball, but it's about him and how he carries himself. And maybe he wants to be this version of Randle. It's better for his overall psyche. We don't know." But the other thing is to what Sim was saying, that is what I'm concerned about too. Because tonight, it wasn't a big deal. The Knicks had the hot hand for the most part, and you got 8 threes from Jalen Brunson. Every night's not going to be like that. There's going to be some nights where you need Julius Randle to take over. Because I was a little surprised when he was going up against Johnson. He was trying to back him down. I thought he was going to start, killing the young fella. But, it didn't quite happen.
And also,
he's nice.
yeah, he is good. And also, Atlanta, played that kind of everybody sagging in, and 4 people's around Randle, and he had,
They did exactly what they did in the playoffs.
Yeah,
the difference is the team around him played better,
and he made better decisions.
And he made better.
And he
decisions,
made better decisions.
But my point was, it seems like he's on a big, not just a rebrand, but he's trying to brand himself.
Yeah,
and so tempering down a little bit, maybe trying to help boost his brand and boost his marketability.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. Let me get to a phone call because I know this guy is trying to rebrand himself. You know what I mean? Caller, you on the line?
Listen, you already know who it is. Come on, man. You know what's funny about you, sir? Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Oh.
I'm talking to you.
Go ahead.
Listen, man. When you try to embarrass me. You was like, this is why you had to borrow the one. When I sent you the money, you ain't say nothing.
No, go ahead, man. No, listen, he paid me back. He paid me back.
Hey, let's go, Isaiah. Let's go, Chef Zay. Yeah.
What's up, Ron? What's going on? Listen, I know Josh is struggling right now because RJ is playing great. Josh is going to be okay. I know you're struggling because I know you can't say take RJ off the bench, trade him, put him in the G League. I know you can't say it now. It's okay. It's okay, man. You can say Julius Randle needs to go to the G League. You can say that.
What are you talking about? Can you give us your analysis of the basketball game?
Exactly.
What's going on? That was a failed joke. A failed joke.
That's all right. But no, man. Good game for RJ. Honestly, Randle had a good game, man. I wouldn't be mad to see Randle in this role. If he could play like this and be the third option, I think that changes the whole Knicks dynamic. If he could play like this, I'm not saying he's going to get a near triple-double every game. But, man, I mean, if he's the one that's going to have the 17 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists kind of game, man, that's great. I think that changes a lot. It keeps people on their toes. And if RJ continues to do this, we'll be in a prime position. Because I think if you lead with 2 perimeter players, it's a little less predictable when it comes to that. And then, you have Randle playing that third option. Because to me, the first 2 games, man, there should be no reason why we shouldn't be 2-0. You know, a couple goals. We hit our free throws and a couple calls that were questionable. We win that game, we're 2-0. I mean, you know, it's the NBA, it's a long season, so you can't really grapple on one loss. But this Knicks team is playing good so far. We can make a lot of noise.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, RJ Barrett, to me, so far, I don't knock on wood. We got a back-to-back. We got a back-to-back tomorrow, so it could be a little rough. But he's finally coming along. He's finally understanding. And Tim, I don't know if you noticed this, but when players
understanding what, finally understanding what,
I believe the angles that he's taking. I believe the driving and him making better decisions with the ball, and him hitting his shots finally. I think you know what happens. You know, and this happens to a lot of Knicks players. I don't know if you noticed this, but when a Knicks player plays speedball, plays the Olympics, they come back a better player. They come back a way better player, and I see that in RJ. I think the game slowed down from a lot between the FIBA and this and NBA start of the season. I think it slowed down for him. I think he's starting to see things better on the floor, better decision making, better shot selection. And again, we're going to see tomorrow because it's a back-to-back. He might be tired. It might not be the best game for him, but if he still comes out to me, if he still comes out tomorrow, gives you 18, 20 points of good efficiency, that's a step in the right direction. And
no doubt about it. No doubt about it. They were tired tonight. You know
it's going to be tough tomorrow, man.
They was huffing and puffing a little bit tonight. You could see him out there.
Yeah, and trust me, it's gonna be tough tomorrow. I don't know what time we play tomorrow.
What time do the Knicks play tomorrow?
7, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. What?
7.
Either 7 or 8. Is it 7? 7 o'clock.
It
okay,
is
7 o'clock.
I'm only going to get
all right, so I mean, they're probably going to rest all day tomorrow. Probably not practice really. Maybe a light practice, or maybe just a walkthrough. But
yeah.
Like I said, if we can come out. Did the Pelicans play tonight?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay.
But either way, it's
Big Bubba,
it's going to be tough.
Mega asked about your bookshelf. Did your bookshelf hold up? Did your bookshelf hold up?
The bookshelf, man, it's holding up, man. It's holding up. I broke her other one. Don't ask me how I broke it.
This guy.
I broke the other one, but I fixed it. I broke it.
Let me ask you this one last thing before I let you go. You got a cold, or is your voice getting deeper?
I got a little cold. I ain't gonna lie. I got a little cold.
Oh, I was about to say, Shorty got your voice getting deep and everything. I don't
know man, here you go, man. Listen, Sam, you know before. Yeah, you're crazy, man. You hear, Tony? You hear this guy, Tony?
Well, I don't know.
Isaiah, what'd you do to break the bookshelf? Put a book on it?
Oh man, you guys are crazy, man. I'm gonna say this though, Sim, because my voice. Yeah, I'm super excited for Wednesday.
All right,
it's gonna be a great time. I'm leaving work right after to go to New York.
All right.
I don't know where we're meeting at yet, but
Legends.
wherever you tell me,
Legends.
We're gonna be at Legends.
We're meeting at Legends. We're gonna be there at Legends. I'll be there.
What time?
I'll probably be there like 5 o'clock.
Oh, that's perfect. I get up at 4 o'clock, so I'll be there.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm super excited to meet everybody. Any newcomers? I'm super excited to meet you.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a great time. The Knicks gonna win.
We got some newcomers, man. No doubt about it. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you, man. It's been a while. Looking forward to seeing you.
Hey, that's how you know that's how you know you out the loop. You talk about where you don't know where we meeting.
Right. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, Tony.
Hey, listen. She got him. She got him all. His nose is open. Nose wide open. His nose is wide open. Anyway, Big Bubba.
You know what? I gotta say something funny too, man. You gotta laugh at this one. So yesterday, I took her and a little cousin that we went to an ice cream date. It was me, her, and the kids.
There you go. There you go. Nose
it was
wide
fun
open.
though, man. All the kids are under 5.
All right.
Well, no.
Well, you can tell me that whole story tomorrow. We want to get back to talking about it. You can tell me that or later. You know what I mean?
All right, man. That was cool, guys.
All right. Peace. My man, Big Bubba in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Love talking to Big Bubba. You know, Big Bubba in the building. Let's talk about RJ, man. You know, he's knocking down threes so far this season. I thought he had a really, really nice pass to Hartenstein today. I was just really surprised at how quick he was able to get that pass off. Really nice pass. He's playing really, really good basketball. You know what I mean? Josh, I'll start with you.
Yeah. So I want to first address Isaiah's comments. What I agree with Isaiah about in regarding RJ is the FIBA thing. I think FIBA is such a different, and international basketball is so different than the NBA. A lot of players come off of those, those games, those international games, much better NBA players because they play a style of more of moving, like off-ball movement, moving the basketball, where you have to be a lot more patient, right? So I think that definitely is working in RJ's favor right now. In regards to him shooting the three, his catch and shoot, again, towards the end of the last season, his catch and shoot numbers were getting up there from three-point range. So I'm glad he's continuing to do that. I think that's really important for him in this offense because there's going to be a lot of opportunities for that with the penetration of Randle and Jalen Brunson. As far as the pull-up, everybody knows I'm harping on Knicks being able to improve their pull-up shooting, right? I am impressed with RJ and his pull-up shooting so far. I would like to see, and it's just a step in the right direction because he wasn't doing this before. So I think it's a step in the right direction. I've seen him do a lot of those pull-ups in transition, which I think is really good. The next step for him with that, transition that into the half court. If we can get a little bit more of that in the half court, when the Knicks offense is in the half court, everyone is on that side of the floor, and he's able to penetrate and get that pull up shooting down pat in that mid range. This Knicks team is going to be different offensively because then they got that guy, that other guy outside of Randle and Jalen Brunson to be able to do that in that starting lineup. So I'm really impressed so far. But I think let him continue to do this, and slow and steady. The next step, take that into the half court, and let's be able to get some shots that way in the mid range. But good game from RJ. I agree with you, Sam. He's seeing the floor so much better now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Who wants to jump in there and talk about RJ? Ron, I'll pass it. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
I was just gonna say I hope he keeps it up. It's definitely a nice burst. You know what I mean? And we need it. Randall played very reserved, but had a good game. But last game didn't play very well, but RJ's been consistent in back-to-back games now. Let's see how long he could keep it up. And I agree that coming off the FIBA, which was his first time being in the league and doing the FIBA. So yeah, it's definitely showing improving. And we need this. He hasn't, it's always been slow start every year, right? So to this is what we've been hoping for, you know what I mean?
Right. To start off strong.
Especially when the team is not necessarily.
Yeah. And they're growing. The team is growing. But for him to start off strong and to while the team is growing this year, for him to be an immediate impact, I think that's big. Yeah, Ron.
Yeah. First off, shout out to my guy Marlon Khan, my international brother in the chat. Good to see you, my bro. Always a pleasure. I'm gonna temper my expectations and my enthusiasm in regards to RJ. I put some lofty stuff on his name. I already said he's going to have the best year he's ever had as a Knick. I've said that he's basically playing for his life as a Knick because I said if he has another bad season like he did last year, he won't be here next year. So I put a lot of stuff, a lot of weight on RJ. So in fairness, I'm gonna give it 5 to 10 games so I can really see how it plays out to see if he can be consistent. Tomorrow's a really good test because it's a back-to-back. So yeah, but I really like what I'm seeing from him. Shout out to Delano Steele Jr. Me and Delano have had phone calls where we've gone back and forth with our own opinions about what RJ needs to do out there. And I can say he is doing what we thought he should do. He's still shooting more threes than I expected him to shoot. But if he's going to be knocking them down, I can't be mad at him. But we both wanted him to really work on his pull-up game, work on those twos and layups, and get to the foul line. Now, if he continues to do that, I think he should be successful all year because I think it's not about to me with RJ, it's not that he can't shoot. It's that he doesn't have good range. So if you pull him in from that 3-point line a little bit, I think he's going to knock down at a higher clip. He refuses to kind of let the three go, but it's okay. Tonight it was all right. So I just hope we continue to see it.
5 of them tonight. How many did he shoot in Boston? About 5? About that? Something like that?
Maybe.
Somewhere around there. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I think he was 1 for 5.
Yeah, I just want to add on to what Ron is saying about RJ, and what a lot of people are saying. Because I see people coming at me in the chat calling me a hater and all of this. Like, we've seen RJ do some of this stuff before. Like, it's not like we haven't seen RJ, have some games or stretch of games where he's been hot. The issue has always been consistency. That's what the thing is with RJ, right? So I'm glad he's starting off this way. But let's see him continue to do this and be consistent in this role. And maybe we are talking about him getting some sort of accolade this season. If he's consistent, that's the big thing. Last season he wasn't. He had started off slow, then he had a stretch of games where he came on again, then it went slow again, and then come playoff time. That little 11-game stretch is when he was back up to where we wanted him to be. Still a small sample size though. But let's see if RJ can put together 15, 20 straight games where he can be able to do what we're seeing now. But the improvement is going to come in the pull-up shooting. I think also his efficiency can improve on drives where he's pulling up, right? Because a lot of times you see him go to the basket and he's not going up strong, whether he gets blocked or different things, him not being able to finish at the rim. This pull-up, his ability to pull up can help him in that regard, right? And I think help the Knicks overall. So continue to do this, and hopefully we can see this during a longer stretch of games, and, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, listen, I'm glad he's doing it right now. You know what I'm saying? This is the way to start it. You know what I mean? This is the way to start it. Go ahead, Ron. Then
one more quick thing, and I got to give him credit for that because I was killing him last year. Because you guys know that when I was talking about RJ, one of the biggest thing that upset me was how selfish I thought he was being with the basketball, not passing to his teammates and taking a lot of forced shots. So far in these 2 games, he's looking. I mean, I can't be mad at him. He's doing everything I want to see from him. So let's just keep it going.
Yeah, I thought last year. I attribute last year to him fighting for respect a little bit, trying to figure out who am I, where do I fit on this team. I think he's more comfortable with that. I think they're all more comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think part of what we were saying with Randle about maybe he's looking relaxed or whatever you want to call it, maybe. And this is something that I've just seen coming out of the preseason. Maybe he's more comfortable. I made 2 All-NBAs. I don't have anything to prove. I don't have to, maybe that mindset kind of leads to him being a little bit more relaxed on the court. Which, and it's all a good thing for, RJ to be comfortable, for Randle to be more comfortable with just who he is as a person and a player, and knowing he has a certain amount of respect throughout the league. Right. Brunson, always seemed to be confident and comfortable with who he was as a player. That can be nothing but a good thing for your basketball team. Let me get to a phone call. Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
Rob the Knick.
Rob, what's poppin' with you, brother? How you feeling,
Rob
man?
the Knick, what?
In the building.
Hey, I'm back in the building.
Back in the building. What's
I
poppin'
just
with you, bro?
look, I haven't seen y'all. I've been listening all the time, but really ain't chopping up with y'all brothers. Missed y'all. Been busy, but I try to keep in touch going forward.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
But what I seen is this. I just looked at it kind of different. I just seen Randle in the playoffs last year hurt, had to get surgery, and he had to really trust his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this year, him coming in, it was like a big brother, little brother. Before your little brother, you always had to protect. So you fought for him, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes he'd come of age and then he'd beat up one of your friends. And that's what I think Randle's seen about this team that he has right now. They fight for him, so he don't have to really do too much, and he's respecting it. And then on his end respecting it, then RJ starts respecting it. And then everybody else on the team eats. because they had 30 assists tonight. Randle seems as though that he can get his in the fourth quarter, and it seems as though he's maturing in that area. Mm-hmm. And that's why you don't see all the craziness no more, because I think he finally bought into the program, because the players are now better. They played together 4 years. Mitch is the oldest tenure Knick right now. Everybody else pretty much is under Mitch, even though, Randle and Hart is older. But it just seems as though it still can be Randle's team, because a triple-double is a triple-double. And he's not holding the ball, so everybody else is getting a chance to share in the ball. And as long as the Knicks are winning and that's happening, I think Randle's going to be all right. He cut his hair for a reason. We don't know what it is right now, but maybe like that old commercial, I'm going to wash that thing right out of my hair, and I'm going to be a new guy. New look, new guy.
Hey.
And, and it seems as though that they're really playing together. They're playing together. Randle is not stressing anymore, right, because he's not taking on all the wins just to be his.
Right.
He's taking it as a team thing. If we lose together. And like you said, Tim, he won a couple of NBA, he's in the votings, all-star games, couple. So he know his value in the league now, and he's finally getting it. So therefore, it's a team game, and he's letting the team win with him, instead of him winning for the team, because all those accolades only come with winning, and he's starting to see that. That's what I think, and I think as though that he doesn't have to really do too much, and he knows that he hasn't, because he counts on these guys now. He's seen what they did for him in the playoffs. He know he had a broken bone in his foot, and he still played, and they still carried him to the second round. And in that whole summer, the only thing he can think about, what if I was healthy, how far we could have went. And these guys did contribute when I was hurt. They took me to the second round. I didn't take them. And I think that's what's on his mind right now. And it humbles him. So now I think that, and then when it humbles him, it automatically humbles RJ. So I think that in that situation, the way that they doing, that they, they're going to be all right. At least them two. It's RJ's, fourth season? This is his fifth season, and this is his time. We can't expect anything else. This is his time. He has to do what in these last 3 to 4 years, what we think that he's supposed to do. This is year 5. So, and he's stepping up to the challenge. He's starting off early. Randle is less of a problem. The team's coming along as a team in game 1 versus game 20. We had 30 assists, 24 the first, and then, it looks like they settled. And then the only thing that they always talk about with us right now, this year in the first 2 games, is continuity. Because when you get familiar with a player and you playing with this player all this time, nothing can take away from that. Because when the mistake is made, the next play is going to be a better play because you're familiar with these players. They just showed the stat that the starting point guard for 2 years in a row on the New York Knicks was 2008, 2009, Chris Duhon. So now we're settling and we're moving. Yeah. So, let's just see what the season brings, because like I was telling Fulio when I talked to him, I said, this team is a mirror. It's a mirror of each other. The bench is a mirror of the starters. And to me, what that means is though, a trade is in the air and you don't lose anything, because the bench look like the starters and the starters look like the bench, but with a better talent level. So if you had to mix and match after the trade, you don't lose anything. And I think that's what the Knicks are preparing for. Something may happen around the All-Star break because this team is too familiar. The bench is nothing different but hard play that you're going to get off the bench versus the starter. You can interact this whole thing and nothing changes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So if you lose one to something different, your style of play doesn't change.
yeah, nah, I feel you. I feel you. But, I think right now, I mean, they may be looking and seeing what's, obviously the front office is always going to be looking and seeing, what's out there and things like that. But I think, they're probably focused. Let's see how well this team can gel. And then, we'll start looking at that. We'll start looking at, what kind of moves we can make. Yeah, Rob, man, it's always good to hear from you, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah. Sam's, I'm going to catch you on one of these games. I'm going to have to come up to Carolina. Hey, look, I don't know if they told y'all the state story. Did they tell y'all Sims, did you hear the state story yet?
Nah, I didn't hear the state story. What's that?
Hey, look, I went to New York, right? Mm-hmm. And my man that I grew up with, he runs a liquor store.
I heard this.
So that's where everybody meets at.
Uh-huh.
So I go to the liquor store meeting, and then, I'm in the liquor store, I'm kicking it with my man, and then I'm in the back, and I hear somebody talking. I said, man, that sound like State. I went up in the front, and it was State. State is my man's son.
What?
That I grew up with.
Okay.
And I met him. Wow. I met State through the pandemic from North Carolina, down in North Carolina when I met him during the pandemic. State, man, we looked at each other, he like, Rob, did they come like State? He said, man, that's my pops.
That's crazy.
And his pops is talking about, how you know my son? I never met his son because when I left New York, I left in 80, and every time I went back, him and the moms done split already. Mm-hmm. So I never got to meet my man's son. And then guess how we meet? He's like, man, you know my son? I said, yeah, I know him. Man, he bugged out.
That's what's up. That's wild
crazy.
Business. Hey, Rob, man.
That was great.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, bro.
Hey, look, no doubt. Hey, look, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to listen. And I'll holler at y'all later.
No doubt. All right, peace. Peace.
All right, peace.
That was OG talk right there. OG talk.
No doubt.
That's that not mean.
Let's talk about just some key plays and decisions on the night. What you thought about them. What you think about them going forward. The turnovers at the end of the game were some key plays for me. And I know we won the basketball game, but Quentin Grimes, Julius Randle driving to the basket, fumbles the ball out of bounds. Quentin Grimes drops a pass, ball out of bounds, they get the steal, then he fouls. Jalen Brunson, pass to RJ, fumbles the ball out of bounds. I don't even think it really got to RJ, to be honest with you. It was just a bad pass. Tony, what's your thoughts about these late game turnovers that we saw tonight? I'm not trying to poo-poo on the win, but we saw some late game turnovers. What's your thoughts on it?
It's uncharacteristic from Brunson in particular. But what I'm gonna say is, because it's game 2 of the season, I rather these things happen now where we could nip them in the bud, make it a focal point. Even inbound passing, which was a problem last year. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We had some struggles with that tonight too. So, I mean, I'm not overly concerned because it's so early in the year. And Boston was a winnable game. I feel like we should have won, and we won this one. So, I mean, it could hurt us in the long run, but right now it's early in the year. So I think we could kind of get that fixed and then really dominate teams throughout the year.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to be able to mess up and win still. You know what I mean? As you're hopefully getting your senses together. Free throws, yeah. Yeah, free throws for sure. Ron, your thoughts, man, on those late game turnovers?
I mean, some of it just didn't make any sense at all. I was just like one thing after another. I'm like, what are we doing? It's like, it's just little things. It's kind of like you're so focused on certain things in the game or not focused, and you're just doing stuff that just don't make sense. Like Some blame it on passes. Some blame it on being careless with the ball. Like Quickly's play, stealing the ball and then getting it stole from him right after. Like that's the it can happen because it's such a bang bang moment. So that one is a little bit more passable because it's kind of like a player in football. You didn't have a chance to set his feet. It was so quick. But RJ being too close to the sideline, Brunson passing it to him, and then just different things that it's avoidable. DiVincenzo made some plays that you're like, come on, man, like just keep your head in the game. Certain things, that inbound play was just horrific. You can't humble the pass between I don't know if Mitch inbounded it to DiVincenzo or something. I forgot. I think it was
Hartenstein. I think it was Hartenstein.
Yeah. I was just, come on, man. Right. You can't do stuff like that. Tibbs must have said,
didn't RJ do
pay the money? Huh?
I said,
RJ had one too. What? Like those got to drive Tibbs bananas.
Right.
So, it's like stuff you just got to clean up. And I think it's fine. I only say I think it's fine because this is game 2. Once again, the Knicks only get like a first week pass on this type of stuff. You got to get this stuff right. So,
right.
I don't know, man. I think they just got to clean it up as they get a little bit more comfortable with each other. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It just takes time.
Okay. Josh, any thoughts on those late game turnovers?
Yes, I'm gonna copy Tony here. I'm not overly concerned. Tony's never overly concerned when it comes to the Knicks. I mean, look, Jalen Brunson, this is so uncharacteristic for him. I know Thibodeau has been putting the mandate out there to, get the ball up, push the ball up the floor a little bit more. I just thought in that situation, Brunson should have, as the leader and the person supposedly supposed to steady the ship, he has to do a better job taking care of the basketball, particularly late in games. He's really been prone to that lately. At the end of games, turning over the basketball. So he definitely has to clean that up, and I'm going to hold him accountable. And I'm definitely going to come at him if this type of stuff continues. What was the game last year in Dallas? The one that we lost when we were winning. That was last year, right? That was like game 20, 25 or something like that. I'm gonna kind of stand by Tony in this. I'm glad it's happening now. So that gives them a chance to kind of clean it up. I'm glad we won the basketball game in lieu of all of that. But we definitely have to clean that up, and we can't be able to, because that's how you keep teams. You get teams back in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Particularly really good offensive teams that have star players. They knock a couple shots down. Luckily we were able to escape this one due to Julius Randle's free throw shooting. But we can't give teams that opportunity. In order for us to take the next level, we got to be able to execute and be a killer down a stretch of games collectively.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So I think it is something to pay attention to. It is early, You're still 4 preseason games. The starters, shout out to where'd it go? To Knicks 100, the GM said once again all starters who didn't play in the preseason. You know what I mean? So they played, but they didn't play as much as they might have played in the past. You know what I mean? So maybe they're still knocking some rust off of their game. But if we're seeing this game 15. Those type of turnovers. I mean, listen, you're going to have turnovers in games. You're going to have turnovers down the stretch. You're going to have some bad plays. I don't want it to be unforced turnovers. If we're going to turn over the ball, another team needs to force that turnover. Not, I just threw an off pass. I fumbled it off my fingertips out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? I want to see some forced turnovers. Well, I don't want to see forced turnovers, but if we're going to turn the ball over, I want the other team to have forced that turnover. Not that we're just letting the ball
unforced error.
Yeah. I want to find out if you guys have any key plays or decisions by the coach. But just give me 1 second, because I do want to remind people that Josh, Uncle Fulio, maybe it's Josh's fault, but I've been demonetized, ladies and gentlemen. Somehow, some way, they demonetized the channel. So if you can support me, if you can support the channel, we would appreciate it. Keep the channel going. You can hit me up on Cash App, PayPal. All right. And, all of that information. Well, right now you see it on your screen. As you see, it says the channel's been demonetized, but you can see you know, the information for the Cash App, the information for the PayPal and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I know Josh is looking confused. You know what I mean? I can explain it to
When
you
this
later,
happened?
Josh.
Okay.
I can explain it to you later. No sense in going that deep into it. But, you know, if you can support the channel, I definitely appreciate it. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Josh. You said you had some other key decisions, key plays.
Yes. I'm always going to think about Tom Thibodeau when this comes up during the pod. He went to the starters with 4 minutes left to go in the game. Before that, quickly was on the floor with Brunson. You know, we're trying to get some more ball handling out there. But we also was lacking on the defensive end, right? Mm-hmm. So we took quickly out, put Grimes back in, and got the starters back in there. You know, DiVincenzo, RJ for DiVincenzo, and Randle for Hart. And I think that's when we were able to kind of close the game out in that regard. So I'm paying attention to those closing lineups. He saw that, you know, that quickly Brunson lineup wasn't working from a defensive perspective, and he went quickly adjusted and put the starting lineups back out there to get better defense. And we were able to knock some shots down. I think we started the fourth quarter 0 for 8 or something like that. And then, you know, once we put that lineup back out on the floor, Randall was able to knock some shots down. And yeah, that was a really, really key decision by Tom Thibodeau. Let's see how he continues to do it moving forward.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, that was my coach's decision as well.
Yeah, I thought. I think over these first two games, Tom Thibodeau's done a good job of, you know, making decisions to either keep players in the game that's playing well, take players out. You know, I think he's done a good job so far. I think it's because he trusts the roster a little bit more too, right? He's learning to trust players that's out there on the floor, understanding, you know, when you're coaching and you understand what certain players can do, you understand their temperament, their characteristics, how they're going to respond in certain situations. You know, you understand, you're able to push buttons a little bit better, I think, when you understand those players and you know what they're going to do. You know what I mean? So hopefully the continuity, again, it comes back to that, helps with some of these coaching decisions that we're seeing from Tom Thibodeau, you know? Ron, you have any other key plays, key decisions?
No, I think Josh kind of nailed it. I thought that was really important. I mean, it's not really. I think it's kind of a no-brainer decision, but just understanding that quickly was a little all over the place at a certain point in the game, and you could tell, you know, he was like, "All right, that's it," and he looked over to Brunson. And I like the fact that he didn't just, you know, bring Brunson in; he brought Mitch in with him. I just think that's what they needed, because they it's like they were playing well, but that's when, you know, some unforced stuff was happening, and it was just all happening it was happening throughout the game, but some stuff happened during that time, and it just seemed like it was just one of those games where quickly wasn't you know, as stable at the point guard position as you would have liked him to be. So it was smart, I think, to go to Brunson at that point, and also bring Mitch in.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man.
Sam, I do got a play. RJ, he was on the right side of the floor driving to the basket. When he found Randle for the 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would have made that pass in years past. Because he wasn't stopped, and I swear he was going to throw a floater up, and you know, that was a great read by him. So yeah, that play right there, I like, as soon as it happened, I was like, he wouldn't have done that last year, or, you know what I mean. So that was a highlight play for me.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sorry, Sam. Go ahead. I was going to say real quick, the other play, it led to a bucket, but I'm not saying it was a highlight play. I just think it was a pass. It looked a little awkward at the time, but you can tell what RJ was doing. I believe that was when Mitch was in the paint and Trae Young was on him, and RJ kind of threw the ball high where only Mitch could grab it and make the move. It looked a little awkward, but it was a smart pass. Like, don't throw the ball to him at his chest where it could get picked off, you know, stuff like that. So I think that was good.
Yeah. No doubt about it, man. I love hearing these type of things. Can it stay? Can it remain? Let's hope so. But I love hearing these type of, that we're making these type of decisions out there on the floor, right? Because you make these decisions early, now it becomes habit, right? It becomes habit, and it's easier to make these decisions. If you've been making bad decisions for a long time, now every decision becomes pressure, right? Every time you step on the floor, there's a little bit of pressure. Am I going to make the right decision? If I don't make the right decision, what's going to happen? But if you've been making these good decisions and now it's become habit for you and the team, you're not worried if you make a bad decision because you've built up enough, whatever you want to call it, right? You built up enough.
Equity.
There you go. You built up enough equity where you're not worried about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to start off with making good decisions because it becomes your habit. And then it becomes easier to make decisions. And you're not afraid to take a few chances, when you get later on in the season and you've built up that equity. Now you might take some chances on some plays that become excellent plays and really help you win. So, yeah, I'm really, really encouraged, man. Big shout out to Jay Tap. He said, thanks for the broadcast. Sent me a Cash App. I appreciate you, Jay. Thank you very much. Definitely appreciate that. I'll find a way to get your messages on the screen too, with the Cash Apps somehow, some way. You know what I mean? But we're going to have some other things in store. Me and Ron had a good conversation today about some ways, some ideas, and some thoughts. So we think we got some good things in store that's going to be fun and joyful for everyone. You know what I mean? Player of the game. Tony, who's your player of the game tonight?
It's got to be JB, right?
I don't know.
No?
Subjective.
I think RJ had a great game.
Mm-hmm.
You could go with RJ. I'm going to go with Brunson, though.
Okay. Ron, who's your player of the game?
I'm going RJ. Yeah. JB was incredible. There's certain things that just happen that you can't not understand how big they are. 8 threes is a lot of threes for a player, especially someone. Jalen Brunson, since he's been a Knick, has been a fantastic 3-point shooter. He wasn't touted for shooting the ball like this, and he's been great since he's been here. So, kudos to him. But I'm going to say that while those threes were fantastic and definitely helped us stay in the game, even helped us extend our leads at times, RJ's play was just fantastic, man. It was unbelievable because it wasn't just him scoring. It was about him making really good decisions. And I go back to the same thing that we've talked about in the past. Brunson goes out there and does his thing, and he's great at it. When Julius is on and he's doing his thing, it's fantastic. But if those two are doing productive things out there in the court and RJ adds that level of production, the Knicks are a tough team to beat.
Yeah, no doubt. Uncle Fulio, you play the game.
For the sake of this conversation, I'm going to say either Julius Randle or Mitchell Robinson. I'm leaning more towards Mitchell Robinson. The reason being is 4 blocks, 13 rebounds tonight, only 7 points, whatever. I'm not worried about him scoring, right? But it was tough for Atlanta to pull off that pick and roll with Clint Capella. Mitch altered so many shots, caused them to miss so many easy stuff at the rim. Basically set the tone for us defensively. Again, we don't need Mitchell Robinson to really score, but what he does defensively, again, just set that tone. And then I'm also going to throw honorable mention of Julius Randle, the triple double, him being willing to not take all the shots. But that again, this just goes to show you we all have different answers, right? Team. This is a team win.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm going with Julius Randle. I feel like
I should have just said Knicks then.
but
it's there. It's nice.
Yeah, it's there. I'm going with Randle because I feel like throughout the game, like a lot of those threes that Brunson had, a lot of them, not all of them, some of them were off the dribble pull-ups, but a lot of them were because Randle sucked in the defense, and then Randle also kicked it out to him. You know what I mean? And, a few of those threes were off of Randle assists. And then, Randle, I think, stayed patient while, even though his shot wasn't falling, grabbing rebounds. He found RJ, Grimes a couple of times maybe, Dante DiVincenzo. And then down the end of the game, he grabbed some really big rebounds. I thought, made some free throws, he made like 4 or 6 down the end of the game to help seal the deal for the Knicks. So, that's why I choose him as my player of the game. Obviously, Brunson was on fire throughout most of the game, knocking down big shots. But, that turnover towards the end of the game had me a little bit upset because I'm like, I just don't expect that he's going to throw that pass. You know what I'm saying? Right. I understand it's early. And everyone's going to make those mistakes. But I was like, come on, not you, Brunson. Let like RJ can do that or somebody else, not you. You know what I mean? So, I'm going with Julius on this one. I thought he played a good game despite not shooting the ball well. And still only took 10 shots, knowing that he wasn't really hitting and the defense was loading up on him. Thought he played a really good basketball game tonight.
I feel like teams are gonna think the blueprint to beat us is load up on Randle and get him out the game.
Right.
So if he can continue to play with that kind of poise and know when he's not necessarily on and spray the ball out, and then the supporting cast is hitting their shots, we gonna be a problem.
Yeah. Knicks GM said, Randle missed 2 of 4 free throws to put the game away, though. Didn't he make 2 in a row? And then he got to the line, missed 1, made 1, missed 1, got his own rebound, and then made 1, missed 1. I thought it went something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened.
That's about right.
Yeah. So that's like 4 of 6. I guess he's just focusing on the last 4. I guess. Yeah. What do you think about tomorrow night? Tomorrow night, the Knicks play New Orleans. In New Orleans, right?
They look good too.
Yeah, this is interesting. Well, let me say, before I say what I was going to say about the New Orleans thing, if there was an X factor for this game, it's DiVincenzo. Because Quickly wasn't his usual Quickly self tonight. Mm-hmm. And if DiVincenzo didn't hit those key threes, it's like to give the bench points, to keep the Knicks in the game. At some point, when the bench was in there, the Knicks were leading too. You know what I mean? Like, it all has to work in order to win a game. So I think DiVincenzo was really, really important, and goes to the fans that were really upset. Why do we get this DiVincenzo guy? He hasn't done anything. This is one of those things. You got to wait, give some people time to get comfortable. And I'm still not saying he's there yet, but this was a nice step in the right direction. You could see kind of what he can do out there. There's still some stuff in his game that he needs to clean up. He's he's quick to it right now. His layup package looks a little suspect, and I know he's a good finisher. So there's certain things he got to clean up, but he'll be all right.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 16 points.
Can we give Hartenstein some love too? Defensively in the second half,
man. Yeah, very, very clutch.
Yeah, 16 points from Dante DiVincenzo tonight. 16 points, 2 rebounds, 60% shooting from the field, 60% shooting from the 3-point line. So yeah, definitely a good game. Obviously his best game as a Knick from preseason to the regular season so far. Pretty good game from Dante. And yeah, Isaiah Hartenstein, man, just the hustle, the muscle all over the place. And I felt like for a lot of the game, the Knicks did out-hustle and out-muscle them. You know what I mean? There was a portion of the game where it felt like the Knicks' hustle plays are what really pushed the lead. The hustle plays, obviously, 3-point shooting, but I felt like those hustle plays at a certain point really led to the Knicks being able to, wear them down a little bit. Then the Knicks let them back in the game, of course, but yeah, I felt like they wore them down a little bit with those hustle plays. But New Orleans, Knicks got to go to New Orleans, man.
So and I may be wrong, but I don't think I am. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Something's going to happen tomorrow night that has never happened before when New Orleans has played the Knicks. And this is year 5. If I'm not mistaken, RJ and Zion have never played against each other in the NBA. So this is the first time they're going to be on the court versus each other. So I'm interested to see. I don't think I'm wrong. I think that's correct because every time RJ was out there, Zion was hurt. And if Zion was out there, I think there was that one, might have been that one time where RJ hurt the finger, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm really looking forward to see how that goes. I think New Orleans is a sneaky good team. You cannot take them for granted. And when everybody's healthy, they got a lot of weapons. I don't necessarily see the thing about them. They got so many weapons. I don't know if they have the C word, the continuity, the cohesiveness. Right. You got guys playing similar positions, guys who need the ball. That's their Achilles. But if they just come out and they got it going tomorrow, it could be really tough. And I don't think New Orleans didn't play tonight, so they're not on a back-to-back. The Knicks, it's going to be a little more rough. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it is.
It is because there were times tonight when the game was fast-paced, up and down. You know, there was a stretch where they were going up, back and forth, back and forth for a while, and both teams were huffing and puffing. Yeah,
long layups and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the whole team.
So tomorrow could be rough, guys. I think the Knicks can win the game if they can keep their energy and control whatever you want to call the pace of the game. But I also could see the Knicks, and I don't want to be that guy to say it, but I could see the Knicks getting blown out tomorrow. Ooh. Not that they will. I'm just saying, like, there was a lot of huff and puffing tonight in 2 spells. Like, there was the initial huff and puffing, and then later in the game there was huffing and puffing. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Randle traditionally plays well against New Orleans, so that's a plus.
I think tomorrow night's game is one of the. I want to see Tom Thibodeau use 10 people. I want to see him go with the 10-man rotation. Okay. Based on everything that you spoke about tonight and the team being tired, let's see some Evan Fournier on the floor. Let's get him out there. Let's give Jericho Sims some minutes to spell Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson. Maybe 11 guys, who knows? But I think that will be a perfect opportunity off a back-to-back, particularly this early in the season. Coming off the preseason where Evan Fournier played well, we can get him some minutes out there. Not many. I'm not talking about, play a whole quarter or, some halves or whatever, but let's get him out there on the floor just to kind of try to give these guys a little bit of a breather off on the back-to-back.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, Sam. And was I wrong in this? I just want to say this real quick. Did I hear something about Julius Randle not playing back-to-backs?
I think that was just preseason games.
Oh, okay. Because if he don't play,
preseason.
I don't know.
Yeah, back-to-back preseason games.
All right.
Yeah, New Orleans is 1-0. All right, they beat Memphis in their first game. Yeah, beat Memphis. Brandon Ingram had 19.6 assists. Zion, 23.7 assists. CJ McCollum, 24.6 assists, 4 rebounds. They shot the ball well. 47% from the field, 43.8% from the three-point line. All right, 32 three-pointers. They were 14 for 32. Scored 111 points, held Memphis to 104 points.
That's a good victory, but there's a little bit of there's an asterisk there. No Ja and no Steven Adams.
Yeah, right. So we'll see. That's going to be one of the first challenges, I guess, of the season for the Knicks. Going to New Orleans, playing a back-to-back. Playing against a team that probably feels like they have something to prove. Zion, probably trying to prove to everyone that he's here and ready to play for real. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game. And then the Knicks get 2 days off, and then they got the Cleveland home and away series, October 31st and November the 1st.
Cleveland got some stuff to work out, man. When your best player puts up 43 points and you lose.
That happened tonight?
Yep.
Oh,
That happened tonight. Who they play tonight? They played OKC. Yep.
Yeah, and
Lost one
I
away.
think Shea put up like 38.
OKC 2-0 then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Yep. 43 points for Donovan Mitchell. 43 points.
Damn it, Scott Perry.
43 points for Donovan Mitchell. 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 15 for 27 from the field, 4 for 11 from the three-point line, and they lost. Of course, Darius Garland wasn't playing either.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, missing Darius Garland.
How long he out?
Not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure. But he didn't play tonight. And I don't remember if he played versus the Nets. I didn't check. I didn't check. But at the guard spot, I don't think he did, but at the guard spots, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, and then Isaac Okoro at small forward, Dean Wade at power forward, and then Evan Mobley at center. Yep. But, ladies and gentlemen, big win from the Knicks tonight. Big win from the Knicks tonight. With a win over the Atlanta Hawks, the Knicks are 1-1 on the season. They'll play the New Orleans Pelicans tomorrow night. All right, so yeah. Looking forward to that. We're going to get up out of here. We're going to do a Losers Lounge, though. All right, so I would say probably about 12:30. We're going to jump on a Losers Lounge. Tomorrow, we'll have a pregame show. We'll have a postgame show and all that good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Any last words? Josh, I'll start with you.
Great 10 win. Go Knicks. Let's get it done tomorrow.
No doubt. Ron?
Yeah, man, it's early. So take everything with a grain of salt. The bad stuff you saw, give them some time to correct it. The good stuff you saw, understand that doesn't apply to every single team. Everything's different. So let's just let the season develop, and we'll see where we're at. As I always say, when we're a month in, we'll know what type of team we got.
Yeah, no doubt. And Tony?
Nah, man. Just happy to get this first Losers Lounge. After this one, we would need like 49 more.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your time. On your way out, if you have it in your heart, go ahead and hit that Cash App, ladies and gentlemen. I'll throw it up on the screen for you. All right, support the channel. And yeah,
$1 helps.
50 cents helps. Shoot. It all does. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're going to keep the channel going, producing great content and even more content. I don't care what YouTube has to say. We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's Number one show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.